let's put off our teams for a minute, and first let's go for our over or under reactions to Week 6. And Kyle, why don't you lead this segment off?
I've been waiting for my team. Sorry.
Wait, what are we doing again?
Over or under reaction. Over.
Right, that's what we're doing. Sorry, all of the faces Alex and I were making, and I completely forgot what we were about to do. All right, so I gotta talk about the Patriots because I thought
they stink. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, maybe just a little bit. I mean, maybe it's still early to criticize them because they had some COVID issues going around to where they couldn't practice all that much. But against the Broncos, they just did not look like they were put together, especially on offense. That we already knew that offense was exactly the most entertaining or exciting offense. But I can tell you, when it comes to Pete Carroll and him running the ball so much in the past few years, that's way more exciting than what I saw from the Patriots. And it was just infuriating to watch. And yeah, we could just make complaints about it being it's because of COVID, they didn't have practice. Well, the Titans, they didn't have practice, and they look dominant. They look amazing, way better than I imagined them to be looking going into the year. So I don't really take that into consideration. I just think that their offense is a bit overrated. Their defense is pretty good. They still have some solid players and a couple of underrated guys, so they're not bad. But when it comes to that Patriots offense, I just didn't. I don't know. It feels like they lost a step or something. Maybe that changes another week but just seeing them drop from, when the Seahawks faced them in week 2, they looked a lot more dangerous to a degree anyway. They still weren't that exciting to watch, but they were far more dangerous then than they were against the Broncos team, especially a Broncos team that's devastated by injuries. So I just wasn't impressed, and I think now that the Dolphins are riding high and the Bills are stumbling a bit, but I still think they're in contention for a playoff spot. I could just see a realistic possibility where even with Bill Belichick at the wheel, maybe they don't get a wild card spot. And who knows? Maybe Cam will be able to bounce back. He is coming back from having COVID, but I don't know. It still is worrisome to me. I just didn't see the spark from the Patriots I normally do to where they look dangerous.
Yeah, I agree with you. Watching them in week 2 when they played you guys, it seemed like it was oh my God, week 2, Cam Newton's they're just gonna go up. They're just gonna get better from here. And then the COVID stuff happened, and they didn't look that good. Drew Lock did everything he possibly could to give the Patriots a chance to win that game. Some odd play calls where they did a play action bomb with 3 minutes left when they had a lead, gets picked off, and the Patriots can do anything with it. So I think I'm not totally going to jump off. I need to see Cam play probably 2 more games to really evaluate but I think they're definitely in play to miss the playoffs, no doubt about it.
I've never been a big fan of Josh McDaniels and his system. And I think he's kind of an a-hole of a guy for what he did to Indy. I think that's a bad move. But they look bad. And that's about it.
Well, what's your over-under?
My over-under? Oh, my goodness. What was my over-under? I was just oh
no.
I am buying in to I don't even know if it's an overreaction or an underreaction. I say that every week. Maybe I don't understand the segment I came up with. I didn't think the Jets would be this bad. This horrible. I've watched maybe 2 of their actual games. I've seen highlights of all the games. But every week, they played the Dolphins, and I was all right, we do weekly picks with the boys. And I was I was debating. I picked the Dolphins, but I was maybe this might be the time the Jets get it. Dolphins are okay. What are they going to be? And I know they have a good defense. I know we've talked about all that stuff with the Dolphins, but I was this could be it. I've thought that with a couple teams, and they still get just spanked. And I legit was they're not going to go 0-16. Rarely does that happen. The Browns had that happen because they were that bad, and they're the Browns. It makes sense. It's but this feels weird to me, and Adam Gase should be fired. I'm going to take the Kyle on this point. Adam Gase should be fired. Honestly, he should be run out of the NFL for what he's done to some of these careers. And I'm jumping in on the reactions that I thought were overreactions maybe a bit, and I disagree. They're even under. They should be worse, and Jets fans should be picketing at the door. I watched a lot of that game, and I was like, this Jets team is horrible. I mean, they can't move the ball. Robbie Anderson's out there ball. I know we've talked about the Jets a lot, but I'm officially in this segment here today jumping on the massive bandwagon. I was already on, but like I was in the back of the train, and I'm sprinting to the front to that caboose with Kyle waving that Fire Gase flag out the little window they have. So Jets are horrible. Like, I legit think they're going to go 0-16.
Thank you, God, for joining the train. Thank you.
I mean, I was on, but I was just...
You were in
like at some point, I was the guy who was like, at some point they've got to win one, right? Like, they can't be that bad. No, they're that bad. They are that bad.
Yeah, I've said enough about Gase. And I'll probably rant about it next week. So I don't need to say more about that right now. So Nick,
yeah, me either. I totally agree. The Jets are terrible, and I feel bad.
Giants are also low key, very, 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 very bad too.
But they beat.
We'll get there.
But they beat Washington, and Washington beat you. So they're going to beat you tomorrow.
But
they're the leaders of the NFC East.
But we tied with the Burrows, and we beat the Niners, which means
nothing.
Something.
All right. So I'm going to go to a similar route that I went a couple weeks ago. And it's going to be on an individual player, loosely related to Adam Gase. Ryan Tannehill is like a top 5 quarterback right now, and I don't think we're talking about it enough, to be honest. Yeah, he benefits, I think, from a talented system. He has Derrick Henry, who was balling out. But specifically, the throw to A.J. Brown, they're down, by 7 at the end of regulation. The clock's winding down. They have no timeouts. And instead of spiking the ball after he gets a first down within the 10 yards to a touchdown, he has the confidence to just do a 1 or 2 step drop and fire it to AJ Brown, and
beautiful love.
It was incredible. Awesome game. The Texans definitely are looking more competitive now that Bill O'Brien's gone. They got a little spark in them, even though they lost. Mm-hmm. I am fully on the Titans bandwagon. I never thought I would like the Tennessee Titans so much. And, I always thought Ryan Tannehill was a decent quarterback even before Adam Gase was ever their coach and he was playing. He was always solid. If he keeps up this kind of play, I don't think pure talent-wise, he's a top 5 quarterback. But he's playing like it right now. And if he continues to do that, this defense is better than I thought they'd be, losing like Logan Ryan, and they lost, I think, a couple other people. They did the offseason right, I think.
Jarrell Casey,
added Clowney. Yeah, and then they add Clowney, and they didn't overpay Derrick Henry, and he's balling out. They have a big game coming up against the Steelers, and the Steelers are looking pretty good, even though
big stretch.
Yeah, even though the Steelers haven't, I don't think have played quite the talent that the Titans that the Titans have. I think that's gonna be a really interesting game, and whoever wins that's in the driver's seat to get the 1 seed, actually. And if the Titans win that game, their division I don't think's that good. I think the Colts are a decent team. I think they might be a 7 seed maybe. And then you have the Jags and the Texans, who are both bad. They have a real shot to get the 1 seed, and if they do, they have a real shot to get to the Super Bowl if they stay healthy and Ryan Tannehill keeps this up. And I truly believe that.
To add real quick to Nick's point, I was looking at some stats. Ryan Tannehill, 19th in the league in passing yards right now. Makes sense. I mean, he's got an early bye that he forced to have. Derrick Henry. Yeah. Derrick Henry, obviously. He is 6th in completion percentage. He is 5th in touchdowns. And he is 4th in QBR. He is playing great ball, especially in the red zone.
And they really drove this stat home, I think, when they played the Bills on Tuesday. But in he played up until last week, he played 15 games as a Titan in the regular season. And he had like, in those games, he's had 36 touchdowns to 6 picks. That's like 2016 Matt Ryan numbers that he's put up in his first 16 regular season games with this Titans team. He's not, I don't think he's not Russell Wilson, Patty Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers. I don't even think quite to Lamar Jackson, even though obviously I think he's a better passer than Lamar right now, but man, he's balling out, and that makes the Titans. I mean, I think the Titans are the second best team in the AFC, maybe third with the Ravens right there as well. And if Patty and the Chiefs slip up a little bit, this is a team that I think could really beat them.
I'm glad you brought up about the Titans because I've been meaning to do this at some point in the show. I need to apologize to the Titans in our predictions video. I think I was a bit harsh on them. And by a bit, I mean probably a lot. I figured they were going to be the same Titans who I learned last year is really that 9-7 team that we always know about them. But this is really different. I do feel like this is a Titans team that is finally getting over that hump and has gotten that edge to where they know they can become a Super Bowl contender and probably even win it. So you're definitely right. Tannehill's performing lights out, but it's not just him. It's the defense. They do look better than they did last year. A.J. Brown's a stud. Even Corey Davis is actually looking good. Jonnu Smith is a stud. I do like him as a tight end. And
there's always a breakout tight end.
Derrick Henry. We know about Derrick Henry. The dude's a beast. Finally glad that they're breaking him out and like letting him do what he's supposed to be doing. I just was preaching for that for a while, and it finally happened last year. But I just need to apologize to them because I feared they're going to be the same 9-7 Titans, but clearly they're a step above, and I can't wait to see them moving forward because they're dangerous now. I think they're officially dangerous and more than just 9-7.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think, I never thought I would be bandwagoning on the Titans so hard. It's kind of odd, but they're one of my favorite teams to watch right now outside of the Packers.